Alright folks, welcome to the final festive sort of review thing. But it's not just going to be a review, it's also going to be my my golden pints choices, because I didn't manage to actually get onto the live stream. Mainly because I was out and I got very drunk, and then when I got back in, I thought I just need to go to bed. So that's exactly what happened. So I missed out on the live stream when I think it was Harry from Blue Nose Beer Reviews was hosting it. As of recording this now, the live stream, probably because they went on for God knows how long, hasn't actually fully sort of like uploaded to YouTube yet, or it had to be taken down. So there's arguments for both. But yes, so the beer review side of things, it's not going to go on too long, because as you see by the thumbnail and stuff, I've reviewed this beer a few times now, and I wanted to sort of like make this like an annual thing, and I thought I'd missed the boat this year, especially in time to actually record something before the end of the year. Recording this on the 30th, it's going to go out at some point on the 31st. Don't know what time I'll schedule the upload for, because people will have much better things to do, probably, on New Year's Eve. Just in the middle of watching Climax by Gaspar Noé, which is... I only ever watched it once, and I thought it was an absolutely wonderful film, and I'm about 10-15 minutes into it again, and I don't know, there's just something about it. But yeah, looking forward to finishing the film after I've done this. So it's probably going to be, well, they're always long videos, but it's probably going to be a little bit longer than normal, but we'll do the review. Won't spend too much time on it, because you might have already seen it from last year and the year before. But of course, it's Sierra Nevada's Celebration Fresh Up IPA, clocking in at 6.8%, is that? Can't really see. Oh yeah, when you get the light on it. So yeah, there's just something about this beer, and something about Sierra Nevada in general, really. I think, you know, pretty old school craft, have some long-standing beers, have quite possibly one of the best core range pale ales ever, which of course is the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Had some wonderful like triple IPAs from them, barley wine, stouts. Their availability of the more sought after stuff and special stuff is a lot easier now, because of course they've got their like UK side of things, the British website. So you're going to be getting slightly fresher, better stored, I'd like to think, Sierra Nevada than you would in like the supermarkets. Yeah, the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale is becoming less and less directly available to me where I am. I can go into like Wigan and go to Tesco's and they've got it there. But my local Asda, I'm sure they used to have it. But yeah, I don't know, it's always that one beer that always stood out to me when I was first getting into it. Craft beer. You know, all like the TGI Fridays and Almost Famous, places like that always seem to have that as a beer selection, and you thought, oh, this is a bit different, adds to the experience. Went to Almost Famous in Liverpool just before Christmas. Fucking amazing burgers, by the way, but I was dismayed to see that they didn't have Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. So I had Brooklyn Lager, which I'd not had for ages. And I still think that beer stands up, really. That was, again, another one of those beers, really, back in the day, I'm saying back in the day, it was only about 7, 8 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that actually. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something about Sierra Nevada. Torpedo's a great sort of double IPA. I forgot what the name is, but their triple IPA, my God, that is just divine. Bigfoot, Narwhal, their porter, you know, just a great brewery. And I will have to do some more orders, especially for the bigger bottles for shares and stuff in the new year. But yeah, luckily, my good friend Adam, Mersey Beers, was doing a post-Christmas beer order. And I can't remember where he got it from, but they still had availability. So I thought, you know what, I'll get 4 cans of it because I just really, really enjoy this beer. So speaking of which, beer in the glass then, and it's a beautiful sort of like slightly hazy ruby red beer with just shy of a finger's worth of a beige looking head. Just really nice appearance. I'm not sure if it's classed as like a red IPA. I'm sure I say this every time I review it, and then I'll put information in the description down below. Should have made some notes beforehand because I started doing that for reviews and stuff, but I just didn't end up doing it. And my New Year's revolution, yeah, I'm going to have a revolution. My New Year's resolution is to actually be a little bit more active on Untappd and document these beers, because trying to compile the golden pints list, which it's not set in stone, and I'll probably finish recording this and then just a random beer will pop into my head and I'll think, why didn't I pick that? But I'm going to settle with it, but we'll worry about that later if you want to stick around. So looking very nice in the glass, on the nose, a little bit marmalade-y. There's a slight cherry character to it, like dark fruit, hedgerow, that sort of thing. A little bit of pine coming through. Beautiful, sweet malt build. I do miss getting the bottles of this, because I still really like bottled beer. Obviously, I know with, you know, improvements in canning and stuff, it's much better to go into cans if you've got a good canning line, or if you know of a good service who will can the beers for you. And it helps those beers stay like fresher for longer. But I don't know, I just miss, especially with American beers, getting like bottles of them. I don't know what it is, really don't know what it is. But I'm just happy to be supping on something like this, to be honest. Speaking of which, let's get it done. Cheers, folks. Oh, man. That's just so satisfying. Because if we go on about like, oh, I'm getting bored of hazy IPAs, blah, 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 blah. When you are getting bored of hazy IPAs and you drink something like this, which, you know, it's not available all year round, obviously, it just makes you sort of like yearn for more beers like this. It's got a real sort of tanginess to it. Very subtle rye-like character, maybe. It's still hoppy, but there's like a breadiness coming from the malt. Really nice marmalade-y sort of flavour to it. There's a little bit of pine coming through. A little bit of resin. Beautiful amount of bitterness throughout. It's just, I want more breweries to make beers like this, so I can drink something like this all year round. I think I've said this before, but the first time I ever had this, excuse me, was when I was living in Germany. And I was a little bottle shop. Upon reflection, probably didn't have the biggest, almost vast range. But then again, I don't think craft beer was as, you know, popular then as it is now. About 2000, when would that have been? About 2015, give or take. I know there have been craft breweries in Germany. Who am I thinking of? I'm sure there's a guy based in Berlin who's been doing it since like 2011, something like that. Oh my God, what's the brewery called? But, you know, it was relatively new. They had a really nice amount of imports in there. And I just saw that they had a bottle of this. And this would have been like, for some reason in my head, around May. So, yeah, not exactly uber fresh, but I just remember even then it being just full of flavour. It's like autumnal, it's wintry, it's festive, it's warming, it's cosy. Just got a notification that a girl has sent me a photo on Instagram. What's that gonna be? It won't be what you think it is. It never is. It's not been a very good year for that sort of thing. It hasn't been for the last 2 or 3 years, to be honest, but the less said about that, the better. But yeah, this is just, there's something, it's probably because it's released once a year. There's probably a big sort of like romanticism about it for me, but it's just a little bit special. You're still getting like these dark, citrusy characters, but as I said, a little bit more piney, a little bit more resin character. There's a beautiful sweet malt flavour coming through, marmalade-y. Very satisfying aftertaste. Perfect amount of bitterness. It's just absolutely bang on. And I just highly recommend whenever this beer gets released, pick it up. I don't know how much it changes year from year, whether there are any changes at all. But I am so happy to have 3 more cans of this, which I'll probably enjoy 1 or 2 on New Year's Eve. Massive, massive thank you again to Adam from Mers Beers for picking these up for me. Even though we found out when he actually collected the beers that I got from Trembling Madness, the order that we split, that one of his beers was missing. There was a whole like mess with that order, which I won't get into. But yeah, sometimes Klarna isn't always the best idea. But anyway, I think the beers that I reviewed that I picked up from Trembling Madness, I've given Trembling Madness props. You know, they were cutting it very fine in terms of Christmas deliveries, and they went above and beyond, made sure that the box of beer that I ordered got sent to me. Great service, just great, you know, customer service in general, which is ever increasingly hard to find nowadays. As someone who works in customer services, I've never been one of those people who will like kick off at someone in service, because people on the shop floor, the people you call, it's not their fault. I've never been like that anyway, but being part of that world, it just makes you ever more appreciative for when it goes right. And if you've had a bad experience, it's easy to take it out on the person in the shop or over the phone, but you know, they're just paid not the best to deal with your bullshit. And in this day and age, a delay in an item being delivered, you know, not to get all preachy, but I don't think the men, women and children in the Gaza Strip are too worried about an Amazon package that's later than it usually is. Do you know what I mean? Really puts it into perspective. Oh, but no, that's absolutely beautiful. I think it would be, I mean, Sierra Nevada Pale, when you get a good bottle or can of it, still stands up today and will always be my favourite beer from the brewery. But my God, this is just fantastic. And it sort of like harkens back to a time when IPAs weren't just about being juice bombs. Which, you know, hypocrite, I buy mainly hazy, hoppy, like yellow IPAs nowadays. Do you know what I mean? So I can't really say too much, but in terms of a review, Celebration IPA, it's special. It's so full of flavour, and it's the perfect antidote for those people who are starting to get a bit of fatigue with generic juice bombs. So yeah, that's pretty much the review side over with. It took us 16 minutes to get to this point, so fuck knows how long this video is going to be. I have reviewed this the last few years, so if I remember to do so, I will link those other reviews down below, just so if you wanted to watch them all and see how my opinion changes from year on year, then that's completely up to yourself. If not, that's fine. But yeah, it's always a special beer, and I'm just so thankful that I've got 3 more cans of this to enjoy. So links down below, Untappd, to their website, all the usual in the description down below, as well as the other reviews of this beer that I've done. And yeah, if you're not interested about my Golden Pint selection this year, then bye. I do really appreciate it. I've enjoyed doing these festive sort of reviews, even though they're no different to any other review that I've been uploading. I want to get back into editing, but I'm working with a MacBook dating back to 2011, which I'm just grateful that the battery's still working. I tried to do some editing on iMovie on the MacBook, but my God, was that painful. And I don't think iMovie on my iPhone is as intuitive. I know there are, you know, better free editing apps, but it's just like getting the right music and stuff. And, you know, I do really miss putting like effort into like creating a video. But I have really enjoyed it. I'm very surprised that I've somewhat committed to a series that I said I would do. And yeah, hope everyone had as best of a Christmas as they possibly could. If you're watching this prior to your NYE celebrations or drawing or post NYE celebrations, I hope it was a good time. And yeah, this time of year is hard for a lot of people. So if you do ever need someone to talk to, just know that you're not alone. There are people, there are organisations, there are all sorts of things, and it's, you know, it's, as someone who's been in a sort of similar situation, sometimes the biggest step is just being able to talk to people. So, you know, I'm by far, you know, the best person to give my opinion on it. It is a work in progress, but, you know, it's just, sometimes it's easier said than done to, or sometimes you don't even realise how to get the help that you need, and it doesn't always have to be professional help. Sometimes just talking to a stranger is, you know, good, or even journaling, writing stuff to yourself, recording things, making videos and then never uploading them. You know, there are so many things that can help, but communication is by far the best thing you can do. Even though sometimes I fall into the trap of thinking, oh, getting it out will fix it, but then I start thinking, I've got it out, but now this person knows, and then I become an anxious mess, as I usually do. As said, work in progress, but hopefully 2024 will be a better year. I just need to pull my finger out and actually, you know, do stuff. You know, it's nobody else's fault but mine. No one's keeping me down. You know, I'm not fighting against the system or anything like that. I'm where I am today because of me. And it took a long time to actually take responsibility for your actions. And yeah, hopefully 2024 is going to be a little bit better. But we shall see. Anyway, 2023, when it comes to beer, had some amazing beers, had some great experiences, got to hang out with people who I do genuinely, you know, love. And even I don't feel like I talk to them or do stuff as much as I really want to. Generosity from these people, the friendship, you know, they are part of family, and get to meet new people, and that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? So I've got my golden pints list here. So I thought I'd just quickly go through it. I won't spend too much time because you've got much better things to do than to watch me sit on a chair, which is very unflattering. It seems to like make the fat on me expand. I don't know why. That's something that I definitely need to get sorted. It is just to get my body into like an actual human shape. Anyway, best UK cask for me. I'm picking this answer because I've had amazing beers on cask this year, but just like mind fog. That being said, there is one beer that always, obviously depending on how well it's kept, always tastes amazing on cask, and that would be Sonoma by Trek, which may well have been an answer I've given in the past with these golden pints things. Just need to be mindful not to drink too much of this because I need to get a thumbnail of the video, of the beer for the video. But my throat is getting very dry. Best UK keg. I just can't, again, I've spent a little while trying to think of standout keg beers. And there's been a lot of them. There rarely has. But I just can't put a finger on it. So I don't have an answer for what my best UK keg would have been. And I know for a fact, in a few hours' time, something in the back of my head will go, oh, do you remember that beer? And then, yeah. So, non-applicable to that, even though there were some amazing beers that I had on keg around the country. Hopefully, we'll do a bit more travelling internationally in 2024. Do some long weekends in, like, I want to go to France. I want to go to Naples. I want to go to, like, Poland. I just want really, like, low-cost-ish weekends away. So, fingers crossed. Best UK can / bottle. And so I went through all my beer reviews, created a little short list of ones that stood out to me just by seeing what the beer was. And the one that does really stand out to me was Cacao Demon by Azvex in collaboration with Table Chocolate. Oh my God, that was gorgeous. Got 2 cans of that. Did my review, I think. No, yeah, I did, because I saw it. And then did a bit of a joint live review with Rob from Hop Scene, Jaco Beer, and Mersey Beers. Both cans. Oh my God, that was just pure decadence for me. Definitely a standout. Best non-UK keg. I couldn't tell you. I just couldn't tell you. Again. Slight tie, actually, for best UK can bottle. big shout out to Left-Handed Giant and their Blender series. I can't remember who bought the bottle when we went to Bristol, went to Left-Handed Giant's tap room, which is gorgeous, by the way. Beautiful location. Bristol's such a lovely city. Prior to like craft beer, I wouldn't have any reason to go to Bristol, and that's a real shame. There's so many beautiful places in the UK that you just never think of visiting, and on your short insignificant time on this planet, I think you should really try and make an effort just to get away for a few days. But we had an absolutely stonking Imperial Stout from Blender, which obviously you can't get the bottle anymore, which is a travesty. But then I'm thinking, mind you, I think it might have been the last bottle that they had in the fridge. But my God, that was gorgeous. Can't remember what the name was, but that was beautiful. But I'm going to stick to my Asvex answer. Yeah, like I said, best non-UK keg. I've had a few, some really good ones, but I just won't be able to tell you what it is, so non-applicable. Best non-UK can / bottle. Bit of a hipster, pretentious, twatty answer, but one that instantly comes to mind would be the double dry hopped 4 Point by Trillium. Picked that up from Behemoth, and my God, that was just amazing. I think I paid like about 10-12 quid for it. It's not a high ABV IPA, but my God, that was good. That was very, very good. And not many, I mean, there's been amazing IPAs brewed by British brewers that I've had this year, but that was just fantastic. And it instantly made me want to go to Massachusetts. Best UK, oh no, we've skipped one. Best overall beer. Well, basically because I can't remember a good, I can't remember a good UK keg. Can't remember a standout keg beer because there's so many to pick from. So I will go back to my Asvex and Table Chocolate collaboration of Cacao Demon plus Doom reference. What more could you say? So I think it makes sense for me to put that as the best overall beer, which is a big shout. Best pump clip / can label. Well, if you saw the video, I did geek out and actually put some effort into the review, even though I got a copyright claim. I was using music on the iMovie app, and from my experience of songs on iMovie, they are supposed to be royalty free, so you can use them when you put, videos online, but evidently not. I do need to try and get a subscription to Epidemic Sound again, because I had some great songs when I had a free trial as part of my, the days when I had a full screen YouTube partnership. But we all know with the way of the world and how shitty not to bite the hand that feeds you. Oh, wait, YouTube doesn't feed me. In fact, it completely cut me off. So I will criticise YouTube all I want, even though I am using their platform to upload videos. But, yeah, anyway, we'll move swiftly on. You probably saw in a video that I did. I geeked out a lot because it was Giallo inspired. Massive, massive respect to anyone who makes like an Italian film reference in a beer. Very niche, I know, but seal of approval. Especially when I was pondering doing homebrew under the name of Mondo Squalido Brewing Company and having each beer inspired by Italian films from the 60s, 70s and 80s. Maybe homebrewing will be a thing this year. Who knows? I said that about, I want to start DJing. I've said that for about the last 3 years and I've not bought turntables. Said that about I want to start skateboarding again. 2024 has to be the year where I say I'm going to do something and actually do it. But yeah, I geeked out on this beer. And that was Sure Shot and Verdant's Your Version of the Truth IPA. IPA itself, it was good. Wasn't like mind-blowingly amazing. But the attention to detail on the artwork, clearly whoever's involved in the artwork and the creative like design process of Sure Shot and their branding knows exactly what they're doing. And I've seen like Giallo inspired, you know, pieces of art that sort of missed the mark. But that just, the use of like Italian language and like written and produced and using the yellow book cover for reference and perfect imagery. And then of course referencing Profondo Rosso. It won the shackles of what used to be in my heart. And in general, I would say that Sure Shot, for me, have been knocking it out the park with the branding, artwork, the themes, the references. Sometimes they go way over my head. But yeah, stylistically and artistically, Sure Shot definitely for me are knocking it out the park with their branding. But that for me was the best can label. Best UK brewery, for me, I was ridiculously impressed with the beers from Beak that I had this year. Arguably the best beer order that I've done was buying direct from them. I've got a nice Imperial Stout upstairs, which I might crack. I don't want to crack open too many ridiculous beers on Christmas Eve, because it'll just be a waste, really. But yeah, Beak for me. Oh, fantastic. That triple IPA they did with, oh my God, who was it now? Where they even had like a t-shirt for it, which, because I'm a cunt, I got the t-shirt. I liked it because it was sort of like, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it was almost Keith Haring inspired. Finback, was it? Beak and Finback Triple IPA. That was amazing beer as well, come to think of it. But Beak, I've just really enjoyed their beers that I've had, and I've not had enough this year. And you could also say, you know, some of their art labels that they've done would definitely fit into the previous category. So, massive, massive fan of Beak. That means a lot of things, depending on which part of the country you're in. Best non-UK brewery. You know, the Trillium answer was a bit wanky. Well, this one's going to be wanky as well. And this is one of those international breweries where I'm always like one of the first people to say, I'm not going to pay that much just because it's from this country, blah, 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 blah. When I can get, you know, 2 or 3 comparable beers here for the same price. But I don't know what it is about Other Half, but I simp to fuck with Other Half. And I'd love to go to New York, even if it's just like for a stupid long weekend. I was almost tempted to go watch The Strokes in New York with my dad. And Mac DeMarco was supporting them. Oh, could you imagine that? Just walking around the streets of New York for the weekend and then just going to a gig, trying to get some cheap accommodation. Man, that's living. It really, really is. But yeah, Other Half, I flock to them. when I see their beers available. And they haven't disappointed, even though I've only had a handful of beers from them this year. Plus, I want an other half t-shirt, even though all it is a very small logo in the top left corner of the t-shirt. But, you know, are you really a craft beer person if you don't have another half merchandise? So yeah, if any of my subscribers, if I'm not lucky enough to get to New York, if you ever go to New York, I will happily give you the money for some other half merch, and we'll cover the postage, because I want a nice other half t-shirt, maybe a stemmed glass as well. But yeah, other half for me. A simple, you know, they may as well have an OnlyFans account. That's all I'm going to say. Best pub / bar of the year. Been some great places this year. And I love the idea of having the concept of pubs around the country that fill you with joy. And I've got to say, the Free Trade Inn in Newcastle, my God, talk about having an amazing location. How frumpy do I look in this, by the way? It looks like I've got no fucking neck. But yeah, Free Trade Inn. It was around summertime, I think, or approaching summer. And just being sat outside. They had a really good selection of beers as well. Watching the football on the phone, having the view of the river with the bridge and like the sun. It was just fantastic. It really, really was. Plus, really nice pork pie, which is always a plus. And for me, you know, definitely one of my favourite pubs I've ever been to. Just a beautiful, beautiful place. Beautiful part of Newcastle as well. Great place to go to. I could have easily put Wylam's Tap Room in there as well. I mean, come on. What a location that is as well. And we got there and it was like early evening, beautiful pigment of like pinky purple in the sky. Oh. And the company I was with was great. It's just everything I wanted. And I had some really good beers. So Free Trade In. Plus they do their own merch, which I might have to buy some. Best festival? I'm not really a beer festival person. When I do go to beer festivals, I'm actually more interested in what we're doing before and after the beer festival itself. But Indie Man did not disappoint this year. Had an amazing like blended barley wine by Siren. Lord have mercy. Plus it was warm then, and you know, afterwards we were drunk outside the hotel, just having laughs. Harry was being a menace in the hotel room. There was like a leak in our hotel room where there was like a big bubble of like water underneath the wallpaper. Oh, it's just memories, man. Memories. And Indie Man is genuinely a great beer festival. Best bottle shop. Been to a fair few good ones. Behemoth is always good. Went there for a first time in a while. One of my favourite bottle shops, although I don't get there as often as I can, and it's literally only a 20-minute, £2 bus ride away. Northern Beer Temple. Feel really guilty that I've not been there over Christmas, because what a time for businesses to need, custom, especially independents. So that needs to be sorted on my end. But I can't remember for the life of me what it's called. But there's like an off license with a bottle shop, like on the lower floor, just like on the outskirts or just like right in the edge of the city of Newcastle. And I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, my God, what a range of beers that they had in there. Got to get some Mikkeller beers, which I've not. I hate the fact that we don't get much Mikkeller now. I really have to get to London again to go to the brew pub and the actual pub that they own. I need some Mikkeller merch. I really, really do. But yeah, there was a bottle shop. Oh my God, what's it called now? But fantastic. And the shop itself's really nice also. You wouldn't think it was a craft beer bottle shop, and that's what I like about it. Plus the guy who was working there, we just got talking about other half. I sound like I said what other half, you know, were like the Newcastle word. Anyway, moving on. Best online store, hands down, House of Trembler Madness. Need I say more? Prices are always on point. If you're sensible and order it timely, you get it the next day. I've firsthand had great customer service, and you're always guaranteed to come away with some really good beers, so easy. Best new brewery, State of Kind. Went to their tap room early this year with Maze Beers and a few of his mates. The main reason for the trip was one of Maze Beers' mates actually was involved in the crowdfunding campaign, and then basically got a bar tab, and fucking generous. A few of his mates, his and Adam's mates, and me went there, and we just used the bar tab and had some great beers. Really, really did. I haven't had many beers in can from them, but what I have had has been good. Definitely, you know, early stages. So, I mean, this will beautifully go into the final category on this list. But yeah, and of course got some merch. I really like the simplicity of this sweatshirt. And the tap room's nice as well. And it's so ridiculously easy for me to get to. Do you know what I mean? Like a 15-minute train ride and then like a 10-minute walk. It's sort of like Wigan's answer to Rivington. That's the way I see it. But yeah, State of Kind, fantastic brewery. Most improved brewery. Now, people are probably going to be a little bit shocked at this answer, but I'm going to go with Sure Shot. When like Sure Shot first came around, obviously the people involved, very influential within the world of beer. They hit the ground running with fantastic artwork, as we talked about earlier. Even the shape of the label on the can. And of course, with it being a newer brewery, what beer styles are you going to mainly focus on? Hoppy, hazy, pales, IPAs and double IPAs and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, when I first started getting into it, I thought, yeah, they're okay. Then I sort of start to feel like the beers on tap taste much better or translate better on tap than they do in can. But over the last 12 months, obviously, 2023, I really think Sure Shot are up in their game. Their other beer styles, they're doing really well. They've had some really nice sours and stouts. That lager that they did, Gebenrot. Oh my God, what a fantastic Hellas lager that was. And I actually didn't realise it. It was for like LGBT plus like sports bar, which I just thought was like a sports bar that they collaborated with. But yeah, Sure Shot for me, and going to the tap room with everyone before and after Indie Man. Yeah, I definitely think my most improved brewery has to be Sure Shot. But loads of people like Sure Shot anyway, don't they? And then going back to Best New Brewery, one to watch for 2024, State of Kind. I really, really think we've got another Rivington-esque brewery on our hands here. And Rivington, you know, have gone from strength to strength. I was very lucky to try their beers in the early days when they were still in bottles. Never known fog like it. Was one of the dirtiest, murkiest looking IPAs. I think it's a little bit more refined nowadays, but I loved that dirty sort of like brown, muddy water look to it. Reminded me of Stigbigat's Amazing Haze when that was first brewed. And that was like early stages of the hazy IPA boom. But yeah, State of Kind, I definitely think they're a brewery to look out for this coming year. There's a load of breweries actually that you should keep your eye out for. Plus their food truck and the food trucks that they have and stalls that they have there seem to vary. And it's a shame that wasn't a category on the Golden Pints list. Best, you know, tap room, bar, brewery food options. Because I think that plays a big part now in a good, like, drinking experience. I mean, Track have the pizza place. Can't remember what it's called. But then they did a collaboration with Bunderbust for their pizzas, and I'm like, my God, I wish I'd have gone to Track's tap room just to try Bunderbust collaboration pizzas. Bunderbust itself, primarily, you know, Indian street food, but always has a great tap room, beer selection, and then they brew their own beer. You know what I mean? Like, food trucks, food stalls, I think are ever more an important part of the craft beer culture. But no, that was my review of Celebration IPA from Sierra Nevada. That was my Golden Pints answers for now, because I know for a fact some of those answers will change if I think about it, but I wanted to get it out there. And yeah, I thought I'd end on a video like this. Last video of 2023. I've already gone into about what 2024 should hopefully bring, so I won't retread old steps. That's not a proper phrase. But yeah, just thank you so much for the continued support. What has probably been the most lackluster year for content on the channel. So many spats of no uploads, but then again, I'm not Jaco Beer and actually only upload like 4 reviews. Love you, Jakey boy. Until our next beery trip, of course. I'm not saying I'm not going to... Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah. Oh, stomach's rumbling. Obviously, Fatty needs some food. Need to go for a cig, actually. I've started vaping. But I only buy, and you can blame Beardy Beer Reviews for this, cola or cherry cola inspired flavoured vapes. For the distinguished gentleman who wants to smoke indoors but does not want the house to smell of nicotine or leave yellow stains on the walls. No, my yellow stains are just on my beard. So, yeah, thank you for watching. I'd love to hear your Golden Pints answers. You probably answered along with the original live stream. Hopefully that gets uploaded to YouTube so I can watch that. But yeah, I like doing lists like this, even though there were some questions that I just could not answer. But yeah, and if you can think of any other questions, put them in the comments. I'll put them together and I'll do another video. Or maybe try and get the guys, lads, get the guys to be involved, oh God, in another live stream. That was disgusting what I just did. Do apologise. And here's to a prosperous and wonderful 2024. Very fucking highly doubt it. Bye.